Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Watch the video until the end and stay on top of the best news from Manchester United.
We're near what Manchester United fans, nowhere near what their manager will expect them to be at the end of this season. They'll be playing so much better, but they've just got that bit between their teeth now. They just don't look like conceding goal. It looks as if keeping a clean sheet is as exciting for them as scoring goals. I mean, every time there's a block, they're all celebrating like they've scored a goal, which is amazing to see because they were so passive in those first two games, Jules. So, yeah, they've gone back to basics. They're grinding it out now. And then once they can get some points on the board, a bit of confidence, then they can start being a bit more expansive.
OK, well, it was a 1-0 victory for Manchester United at the King Power Stadium. Let's just wrap up what else happened in the other 9 matches in this midweek round of fixtures. It all started on Tuesday at Selhurst Park, where Brentford, another time this season, have come from behind to manage to rescue points. That game finished a 1-1 draw. Brighton suffered their first defeat of the season at Craven Cottage, Fulham winning by 2-1. And what a result this was for Ralph Hasenhüttl's side, also coming from behind to beat Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea by 2-1. And they shared the points at Ellen Road. It finished Leeds 1, Everton 1. Last night, there was a goalless draw between managerless Bournemouth and Wolves. Arsenal maintained their 100% winning record, beating Aston Villa by 2-1. And it's tricky times for Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa. That's now 4 defeats out of 5 this season. And what about this score from Manchester City? They beat Nottingham Forest 6-0. Erling Haaland with his second Premier League hat-trick of the season, and we're only 5 games in. He scored 9 goals already, which is a new Premier League record for an opening 5 matches of a season. It finished a 1-1 draw in the London derby between West Ham and Tottenham, and Liverpool won it late against Newcastle. New signing Alexander Isak scored first for Newcastle, but then Liverpool in the 98th minute got a winner through Fabio Carvalho, one of their new signings. And as we've just seen at the King Power Stadium, Manchester United with all 3 points, 3 wins in a row for Erik ten Hag's side, but another defeat for Leicester, which means that they remain at the bottom of the Premier League table after 5 matches, still looking for their first win. They've just got 1 point on the board, and also making up the rest of the bottom 3 are Aston Villa and Wolves. As for Manchester United, they're no longer in the bottom half. They have actually moved into the top half of the table, into 5th place and above Liverpool, their rivals. They now have 9 points from their first 5 matches. Right, well, there is plenty to come from Michael and Karen. We will continue to dissect the game at the King Power Stadium, but it was Jadon Sancho's first half goal that made all the difference. His second goal of the season, and lots to ponder for Brendan Rodgers. We'll dissect it all after the break. Doing well for fantasy managers, but tonight in the Premier League, Manchester United winning once again. Let's get some post-match reaction on the pitch with Des Kelly, who's been talking to Christian Eriksen and the goalscorer, Jadon Sancho.
Christian, 3rd successive win. That's the side that's turning the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think from the start we had a lot of things we needed to change, and we've done that by winning. It hasn't been beautiful for 90 minutes, but we have 3 wins.
Yeah, and you have to show a bit of steel away from home.
Yeah, no, I think we are at the moment we're winning 1-0. We keep it tight, but yeah, no, obviously we want to do better. But I think this is a good start, and it's a good build. We can take something from this, and obviously the 3 points is the most important.
The 1 goal, a lovely goal, Jadon, lovely team goal.
Yeah, it was a great team goal. I'm just happy that I got the goal for the team and I got the 3 points.
Yeah, you look confident now. Of course, the goal against Liverpool helped as well.
Yeah, obviously doing pre-season with the team. My first pre-season. Obviously, last year I missed pre-season, so I got to know the players a lot more. And we worked on a few stuff, and yeah, I'm getting more comfortable. Yeah,
and in terms of this side knitting together, but in the first half you pretty much dominated. Do you think you should have killed the game off, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's similar to Southampton. I mean, we did very well until we scored, and then we have to keep momentum. We have to kill the game earlier, obviously. Otherwise, it's going to be a tight game until the end, like today.
Table's looking a little bit better, Jadon. You're up into 5th now.
Yeah, we hoped to start the season with 2 wins, but obviously, that woke us up, and happy that we got the 3rd win today.
Yeah, making progress. A big game at the weekend now. Another one, Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, from now on, they just keep coming every Thursday, Sunday from now until after the World Cup. So, I mean, yeah, we're looking good. I mean, we're getting the points, so we're getting the base of what we need to do. But obviously, it's going to be a tight schedule, but a lot of fun games in between.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, as you can hear as well, as the players are leaving the pitch, the Manchester United fans in the away end are still cheering as they've seen their side win a third match in the Premier League in a row. And it's great to see Jadon Sancho smiling and enjoying his football, because he had a bit of a difficult first season in the Premier League last year. He's now got his second goal of the campaign, Michael. Are you expecting him to be quite fruitful for Manchester United this year? I
still think he can get a lot better. It's very difficult to come into this team and perform exactly as you have done in previous teams. We've seen it for years and years and years now. Top players have come into this team and struggled. And that's just been the atmosphere, the way they're playing, everything about it, the confidence of the team. It's been difficult. Whereas other teams that are flying high, any old player can go into there and they all of a sudden look world class after a couple of weeks. That's just what happens. And as I say, that's happened to a lot of players. Sancho is a player that probably struggled at the start and then really had a good patch towards the end of the season. And he started this season with a couple of goals as well, which is always important. He is a really talented player, and he's one of those players that if United can get something going, if the manager can really get this place going, then I think we could be seeing a totally different player than what we've seen over the last season or so, which has been decent, but I know there's more to come. Is he a player that perfectly suits the way Erik ten Hag wants to play?
I think he suits playing on the left. I think that's when he plays his best, he's most comfortable. I don't think he's just going to absolutely kick and run and blast past players like maybe a Rashford would. He likes to come in, cut, skillful, and then have someone overlapping. And I think he really suits playing on the left. And I think that's why Antony will come in on the right and they'll both cut in. And he just looks more comfortable. And the biggest thing that he said in the interview was pre-season. You know, if you don't have a pre-season, you'll know this, Mo, that the whole of your season's kind of ruined because you've got no foundations to start strong on. And he's had that this season. He looks fitter. As he said, he's grown into the role, he's looking more confident. But for me, it's because he's playing on the left-hand side where I think that's where he's at his best. How much of a difference does that make, having that full pre-season with the team that you're about to head into the campaign with? It does, yeah. A foundation, that's the right word. It doesn't just stop or prevent you getting injured. And of course, we can all have freak injuries where you get a blow or whatever. But in terms of muscle problems and things like that, a lot of the time that's due to conditioning. And if you have a really good pre-season, then you almost, that falls by the wayside. You're strong. And then you've almost got a foundation to play throughout the season and be at a really top level. And you only have to focus on your performance, really, not about the aches, the pains that come with it. So it's important. He's actually not as quick as I thought he was. I used to watch him as a kid. He signed for Manchester City and he was in the youth team there. And I used to just love watching him. He was so good, so naturally balanced, and he looked really quick. When he's come to the Premier League, I've not thought he was as quick as I thought he was. He's more skillful and needs the ball cut in. And the run that he made today, out to win and taking it around the goalkeeper. He's a goal-scoring, attacking player, and I think there's so much more to come from him. I really look forward to seeing him second half of the season when, as I say, Manchester United are playing a little bit more expansive. At the minute, they're grinding results out. They're so much better than this, and I think we'll see that later on. He took his goal well, his second goal of the season, Karen, but it's about the space that he manages to find himself in. How does he do that? Well, I think it's his timing of his run as well, but I think Leicester was so open and expansive, and we mentioned it at half-time how key Bruno Fernandes was. And the through ball from Rashford, and then takes it around the keeper, and it's a tidy finish. But this is how big this is, the long ball. Leicester are spread open. You watch Bruno Fernandes just go on to peel onto that side. He's unmarked, and now you've got a problem. Leicester, you 3v2, great pass, and then this weight of pass and timing of Sancho to get back from offside to onside, and then to time his run, and then have the composure to take it around the keeper. And it's like what Michael said there. He takes on the goalkeeper like an outfield player, goes round him. But it's just really from Bruno Fernandes, isn't it, Michael? Yeah, he does. He moves into that channel, and it's very difficult for anyone to come pick him up. Johnny Evans can't go. He'll be leaving Rashford. And we track the run there of Jadon Sancho, and it's a really good run because he's offside. He's the one that's just gone and closed the goalkeeper down. And again, we see the touch, the way he caresses that, not too heavy, under pressure, keeps a cool head. He can finish, the lad. He was really cool in front of goal against Liverpool the other day.
and give him a chance, and he invariably knocks it away.
Interestingly, in the interview there, Christian Eriksen as well points out that they've been winning these games 1-0, narrow wins, but they're still maximum points. How do you see the way they've been winning these games? Is it a concern that they're only winning by 1-0?
No, not at all. I think the greatest thing is keeping the clean sheets. I've always said clean sheets win your championships, goals win your games. I don't think they win the championship, but it's that basic principle. And I was likening it to earlier. I read an Andre Agassi book, and he said that when he played tennis, his coach said to him, don't play to win the point, play for the opposition to lose the point. I feel like Man United haven't blitzed teams apart, but they've just done the basics, played it simple and waited for those either mistakes or little moments, and that's how they've won the games. They haven't won it emphatically, but they've just done the basics really well, like we said at half time.
Yeah, they have stripped it back to basics, and we are talking about Manchester United. We shouldn't really be thinking, grinding results out, but they were so bad. They have been so bad for so long, but they were so bad in those first two games. You can totally understand why the managers just said, right, we're not doing that again. We're not playing from the back. They're going a lot longer in games. They're a bit more direct. They're defended. If they need to kick it out of play, they'll kick it out of play. So I think they're playing their way back into the season, I think, and 3 wins on the spin. They're not going to change now. They'll gradually gain more and more confidence, and when they start having more time on the training field, you'll see more expansive stuff. But at the moment, they can't risk playing like they did in the first couple of games. How important has it been then also for Erik ten Hag as the manager to gain the confidence and the support of the fans with these 3 wins in a row now, which has taken them to 5th in the table? Well, it's massive. It kind of silences everyone as you climb the table. No one can ever really say anything when you're winning and getting maximum points, and that's what he's done. He's kind of silenced it, but fair play to him. He stayed strong. He was under massive pressure. Like we said, it couldn't have got any worse in the opening games, but he's gone about his business and stuck with his principles at times, but been adaptable. Like Michael said, if we have to go long, we have to go long, and this is a results-orientated business, and we saw that it's some managers have a quick, short lifespan, so he's doing what he needs to do. OK, so it's another win for Manchester United, but now 4 defeats out of 5 for Leicester City in their start to the campaign. They remain bottom of the Premier League table. Let's get the post-match thoughts of Brendan Rodgers.
Brendan, another defeat. What are your thoughts on the performance this evening?
Well, I thought we were unfortunate to lose the game. Players gave everything. Their energy and intensity in the game was really good. We're disappointed with the goal, a little bit naive whenever we're coming out and when the ball's going long, and then it left us as open to close the pitch on the longer ball. But the players kept going. We had opportunities in the game, and like I say, it's just probably a little bit of craft in the final third of the field we lacked, to be honest. But I can't fault the guys for effort and the mentality in the game. They give everything. Their spirit was there, and we're just disappointed to lose a game that we should have at least taken something from.
I mean, arguably the best chance was right at the end with Justin James with a chance and just lost his composure.
Yeah, JJ, he was fantastic in the game. He made a great run, it's a great pass in, and he's obviously, it's one of those ones. It's very late in the game, and the technique sometimes goes a little bit with a little bit of fatigue. But no, he's disappointed. You want to hit the target there, but he was very good for us on the evening.
Some boos at the end, Brendan. You'll have heard those. 4 defeats in a row. It doesn't look the rosiest of pictures. How concerned are you?
Well, it's disappointing, of course. It's not the start where we want it. It's a poor start. That's the reality for us. I think we've got circumstances that certainly hasn't helped us, that's for sure. But like I say, we won't hide, and certainly I won't, because it's my responsibility. And we know we have to pick up on our results. So we're hoping now, window closing this evening, brings that sort of mentality and focus back in as one. And like I say, we'll keep fighting. And as I said tonight, the spirit was good. They're not a team that's not giving everything. We just lack quality, and unfortunately we weren't able to do anything about that in the window.
You've lost Wesley Fofana, of course. Is it a relief that others haven't left the building?
Yeah, well, we never had too much, obviously, early in the window that we had Barnsley and Matters was that there was inquiries about them, but no, but we couldn't have lost too many. We, as I said, we were already really low in terms of depth and quality. So to lose any more of our top players would have been a real challenge. So thankfully, at this moment, they're still here.
And how important, finally, was it to get somebody into the club yourself before the window shuts with the lad from France?
Well, it was important for so many reasons. You know, we needed 2 centre halves ideally, but with Wesley gone, we needed certainly a replacement for him. Wout is a experienced player, he's a leader, so he's going to come in and hopefully give us that personality when he plays as well. So looking forward to working with him, and like I say, and also we've got 3 of our players that played in at centre half that are in the last years of their contract. So we certainly needed to get at least one in, and we're delighted that he's joined us.
On that, Karen, he said that he feels Leicester were unfortunate not to take something from the game, from the opportunities they had. Do you agree?
They had a couple of opportunities, but it just looked like confidence and composure and that clinical edge. There's one near at the end there where it was just smashed over the bar and you can pull it back or at least hit the target. So they have worked it. And last week as well, they had a few opportunities that they should have done better with. So it's just in front of goal there. I think, again, you mentioned it earlier, Mo, you're the striking expert here, just about being cool, being calm, composed, and they're just rushing at things. And I think then you go on this unbeaten run, not really scoring, and it just starts to go away from you a bit.
Were they wasteful in front of goal for you tonight?
You could say that, but I mean, to win football matches, you've got to create more than they are creating. I mean, you couldn't sit there and say, wow, they missed loads of chances tonight. They didn't create that much. I think Manchester United snuffed them out pretty well. I can't think of David De Gea making many top saves. So, yes, Manchester United didn't batter them. Yes, it wasn't a one-sided game, but it was mainly because it was an average game in general. Manchester United aren't about battering teams at the moment. They're just about grinding their way through and getting some form back. So I don't think there's any pats on the back for Leicester players thinking, you could have got something out of that game. It was a game that you probably should have got something out of. So confidence is low. The mood in the stadium, the mood of the players, you're losing your best players in the transfer window. You're not bringing many players in to help. He mentioned there a lot of players. He's talked about defenders being in the last year of their contract. Well, you can look all over the pitch. You've got the likes of Tielemans and whatever. Then you've got star players like Vardy that are coming to the end of their career. It's a massive investment needed in the playing staff of that club to get them back to anywhere near where they used to be.
And hearing the manager of the football club saying that they're low in depth and quality, so he's grateful not to lose any more players. How does that sound to you if you're in that dressing room and you hear the manager say that?
Well, we saw a manager pretty much go on similar comments this week. So I've always said players reflect their attitude of the manager. And I'm not saying it's a bad one or anything like that. What I'm saying is he looks deflected, dejected rather. He looks frustrated. And I see that in how Leicester play. I see disconnect. I don't see them connected. I don't see them, they're a bit flat. And I see that in him, and I understand that because all those reasons that you said, I'm potentially losing my best players, the players are on 1-year contracts, it's like, and I see that reflection in how they play. I don't see any energy, I don't see any impetus. And that's a worry.
He's an experienced manager, Brendan Rodgers, so his comments to the crowd booing at the full-time whistle, you expect him to say what he does. He knows how to handle those moments. Has it almost got to a point, though, Michael, where it's gone too far for him to win the fans back around? Or can he still turn things around with Leicester?
I think he can definitely win the fans round again. I mean, Brendan Rodgers is one of the best coaches in the game at the moment, and lots of people say positive things about him. He's got a really successful managerial career. And only a couple of seasons or so ago, everybody's saying, is he going to stay at Leicester? A couple of the big teams want him. So, listen, if Leicester let go of Brendan Rodgers, he'll be getting a job. His next job will probably be a better team currently than Leicester. So I still think that they're not necessarily lucky to have him, but it's still a very good match. And I just think that the whole club, you can pin the blame on the manager if you want, but there's not much investment going on into the playing staff at the moment. You know, there's not the whole. I said it before the game. The whole club feels as if it's sinking a little bit, and success is still fresh in the memory. So the fans are expecting a lot more. They're probably expecting them to get into Europe still. Well, that's not what I'm seeing. My eyes aren't telling me that they're a team that are good enough for that. And my eyes are saying, yeah, they're probably a Premier League team, but it might be a fight this season. They're not too good to go down, this team. They're poor and they've got a lot of, a total lack of confidence.
Yeah, it has been a difficult start for Brendan Rodgers and his Leicester side. But on the other hand, what a turnaround it's been for Manchester United. After 2 defeats to start the campaign, they've now won 3 in a row. Let's hear from Man United boss Erik ten Hag.
Erik, you're developing a nice habit of winning. 3rd game on the trot. What did you make of the performance?
I think, again, a step forward. So we are happy with that. And again, a good team spirit. Again, 11 players on the pitch who fight for each other, and good compact, good press, and I think a lovely goal. But also room for improvement still, but that's normal. Start of the season.
Very classy goal. Dalot, Fernandes, Rashford, Sancho's beautiful move.
Yeah. We can be that dangerous in the transition moments. We know that, and especially second half, also first half. There were many spaces, and we didn't even explore them that well. If we make one or the other better decision, we should have scored the second goal.
Yeah, was that a concern in the first half? Because you did have a lot of the ball and you had chances, but you didn't quite. We weren't ruthless enough, maybe.
We have to be more. So what I say, there's room for improvement, and we will work on that.
And Jadon Sancho, you can see his confidence is on the up after the goal from Liverpool and tonight.
Yes, but he had also a really good pre-season, and he sees now we invest a lot in pre-season, now during the season, and you see then he can make the difference. He's a great player, but also the whole team, because I think it's a really team goal once again.
And also winning away from home, which is something that Manchester United haven't been doing recently. That shows the character and a bit of fight in this side that you're trying to build up.
Of course, and I'm happy with the clean sheet. And you see when there are 11 on the pitch who defend together and attack together, and when you have that in, the energy, and then you see what you can achieve.
And the options that you have, Casemiro coming on, Ronaldo coming on, that's quality through the whole squad now.
Yeah, but I think we need that, and I think we need a good squad. You need numbers. We have a lot of games to cover, and so we're happy. You see the ones Casemiro, Ronnie gets fitter and fitter, so we will more contribution given to the team. And so we need not only a team, we need a squad.
And you've got Antony on board now. Is he going to be part of the squad for Sunday?
We have to see. And he did today his first training, individual. Then we have 2 team sessions, and then we will see for Sunday.
Just for the last time, I mean, we've got 45 minutes left. Is the transfer window closed for Manchester United?
When there's a really good opportunity, we have to strike. But I think the building is closed for now.
Phew. Cheers, Erik.
Okay.
All smiles from Erik ten Hag. Another win on the board for his Manchester United side. And we saw a bit of a change from him in the second half, bringing Casemiro on. We know about what quality and strength and depth they have on the bench. How did you assess his performance when he came onto the pitch, Karen?
I thought he was quality, really. Just showing for the ball, nice little flick round the corner. I thought he brought composure. Again, just give me the ball, I'm under pressure, we'll just keep recycling it. Nice little feet, big switch out. It just brings a calmness to this side, and then again we've said about sniffing out danger, reads it well, defence first, then setting them on their way for the attack. It's a great ball, to be fair, with his left foot. He was great, wasn't he, Michael?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's got that experience. Look at that. He's waiting for the run, snuffs that one out, and then goes and closes the ball down. He's just a class act. The manager's got the luxury of just building him into this team. Obviously, with them winning the last 3 games, he can gradually up his minutes. He played more minutes again today. The big question is Sunday, whether that's now enough to go and start. As I said before the game, spending that much money on a player of that age, he's not one for the future. If you invest in that, he's going to be a regular player. But
is it enough for you? Does he start?
I would start him now, yeah. I think he's just a class act. He's got a winning mentality. He knows how to win. He's just some people have just got a feel for the game. They just sense danger, they smell danger, they know when to press, they know when to sit back. They're just class acts that just have a footballing brain. And you can just see that the way he plays. I mean, we only showed a small cameo, but what he does. But every team needs one of those players, and he does it probably as good as anyone in the world. And
it's a tough test because Arsenal are flying. They've won every single game, all 5 matches, and they're top of the table. So do you see it being Casemiro, Eriksen and Fernandes in that midfield for Manchester United?
Yeah, potentially. I agree with Michael. I think you've got to play him. I think to get his winning mentality, to sniff out danger, especially the form that Arsenal are in. But I know they've got a couple of injuries, especially in that midfield area. So I would put him in there, just to give the confidence to the group and go again. And also the midfield I know I like consistency, but I think putting him in does add that freshness, but continue with that experience against this Arsenal side.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael, Karen, thank you so much for your company. We have seen Manchester United win again and they move above Liverpool in the table into 5th. They now have 9 points from their first 5 matches, but it's difficult times for Leicester City, who remain rock bottom of the Premier League table. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Matchday Live.